Souls remembered. It was that time of year again, the high street filled with fairy lights, brass instruments blasting out Christmas carols, badly, and shoppers squandering the last of the money provided by the friendly neighbourhood loan shark. Moon didn't mind the holly, ivy or mistletoe so much. It was a celebration of a virgin birth, clergy spouting the message of goodwill to all men, which was promptly shelved the rest of the year, that made his soul sink. How did this absurdity start? Despite the best intentions of the church, which he also had no time for, to keep the season holy, Christmas now started in September, cleared all sensible products from supermarket shelves, and created such an anticlimax in January, most people went into social hibernation until it was time for Easter. At least the gaudy glitter and razzle-dazzle had not infiltrated the environs of the ancient parish church. It was peaceful here, as it should be. This land was sacred long before Christians arrived, and the building's foundations rested in ground that had witnessed millennia of rites welcoming the sun and mourning its loss at the onset of winter. The lives of whole communities had once depended on the whim of the season that was now used as an excuse to drink, party, and eat to excess. The sky was filled with moonlight that cast a silver sheen on the ivy-covered tombstones. A blackbird chimed, almost in time to the bell calling the faithful to 6 o'clock prayers, then fell silent at the warning hoot of an owl. A vixen, having spent a fruitful evening fossicking in the neighbourhood's restaurant bins, wended her way home to cubs that had long been weaned, yet were still unable to rootle out their own half-eaten hamburgers. Nettles rustled with beetle-devouring hedgehogs, and Moon was just able to detect below the cacophony of the other wildlife the faint sound of snails munching through the petals of an expensive annual wreath laid on the grave of a much-loved grandmother. The church bell ceased to peal. Moon took a long hazel wand from his coat and started to circle the church, stopping every now and then to tap its flint facade, the root of a tree or flagstone, at irregular intervals. Visitors to the cemetery paid little heed to his monthly ritual. It was a harmless, regular occurrence that had gone on for as long as they could remember, and, like the moss-clad in the bell tower, added an odd, pagan gravitas to the ancient stones. As the overgrown path narrowed to accommodate the new community hall, the brambles somehow failed to snag Moon's ankle-length coat as he walked through them. The gaunt young man carried on as though the overhanging branches and nettles were not there, waving his long wand in the direction of the boundary they now concealed. The blackbird sounded a brief alarm, then, as though realizing it was only a friend, stopped. The hedgehogs did not fear his footfall either, and continued to snuffle through the rotting autumn leaves.